Hello everyone. So welcome to today's session which is on logic based DI. So this session is brought to you by me Nilanjan, a CAT 100 percentiler as well as a DILR affection 100 percentiler. So whenever we talk about the DILR section, if you look at the recent years, the most challenging part has been this topic, logic based DI. So what we'll do is we'll look at one such set on logic based DI in today's session, which is from the previous years of CAT. It's going to be a classic set on logic based DI, so do make sure that all of you are watching the solutions that we are showing till the very end. Meanwhile, a request to all of you to kindly take out the next 1 minute or so to share the session link with all your friends and fellow CAT and MB exam aspirants so that more and more people can be watching this session on logic based DI. This is a brief about myself, and I wanted to inform all of you about the DILR live classes batch 1 which has just started. So it's available on unacademy.com/plus. You can use the code nilanjan.yt while subscribing to give yourself some additional discounts. Alternatively, you can also use the code nilanjan.datta with no space for Nilanjan and Datta. But you can also use the code nilanjan.yt where YT stands for YouTube while subscribing to give yourself additional discounts on the Unacademy Plus subscription. That is the 12-month subscription plan which will cover you in your preparations for CAT as well as your other management entrance tests over the next 12 months. So do not forget to use the code nilanjan.yt while subscribing. We've just had a salary weekend going on right now. So do make sure that by tonight midnight, that is by Sunday midnight, all of you subscribe to Unacademy Plus, choose the 12-month subscription plan, use the code nilanjan.yt while subscribing. This is where you go and you input your code. In the referral code section, you input your code, you'll find the price reducing, and then you can check out. Note, it'll give you access to all the live classes by all the top educators, be it for DILR, with batch 1 has already started, or for quants live classes as well. Remember, it's just a one-time code that you need to use, nilanjan.yt. They'll give you access to everything, but choose the 12-month subscription plan. So now we'll get started with the set which is from the CAT previous years. So here we are talking about mathematicians are all assigned a number which is called Erdos number. So only Paul Erdos himself has an Erdos number of 0. All those who had written a research paper with Erdos has an Erdos number of 1. For other mathematicians, the formula for calculating Erdos number is as shown below. So in case there is a group of mathematicians who are co-authoring a paper, then what you do is you find out who has the smallest Erdos number. Let's say the smallest Erdos number in that group is small y. Then what happens is the person with Erdos number of small y, he or she retains the Erdos number of small y, whereas all the others, for example X who's co-authoring, will end up having an Erdos number of exactly 1 more, that is y plus 1. Which is why if you co-author with Erdos, Paul Erdos will retain his score of 0, but all the others will get an Erdos number of 1 more, that is exactly 1. So what the set is saying is that initially in the conference there were 8 mathematicians, A to H. A was the only person who had an infinite Erdos number. The rest, all of them, had a finite Erdos number to start with. Out of the group, the least Erdos number was that of F, because nobody had an Erdos number less than that of F. Now here they've given you some pointers on certain days involving certain co-authorship initiatives. For example, on the third day, F co-authored with A and C. This reduced the Erdos number of the group to 3. Similarly, the Earth number of B, D, E, G and H remain unchanged with the writing of this paper. Further, no other co-authorship among any three members would have reduced the average Earth number of the group to as low as 3. At the end of the third day, 5 members of the group had identical Earth numbers, while the other 3 had Earth numbers distinct from each other. On the 5th day, E co-authored a paper with F, which reduced the group's average Earth number by 0.5. The Earth number of the remaining 6 were unchanged with the writing of this paper. No other paper was written during the conference. So basically on the third day, F co-authored with A and C. That obviously reduced the Earth number of the group to 3. And again on the 5th day, E co-authored with F, and that reduced the average Earth number by another 0.5. So basically Earth number reduced to 2.5 from 3 when E co-authored with F. There was no other co-authoring initiative, so basically only A and C will reduce the Earth number because they co-authored with F initially, and then finally E will reduce the Earth number because of co-authoring with F. Nobody else is expected to reduce their Earth number. So what you need to do is identify what was the starting Earth number of everybody and at what stage, what Earth number, who retained during the process. This kind of sets aren't very easy to solve, and that is why they're clubbed in the section of logic-based data. They're giving you a lot of data points. At the same time, it's not going to be a straightforward calculation initiative. The first 1 minute of every set should be spent in going through the questions in the set. So the first question is saying the person having the largest Earth number at the end of the conference must have had the Earth number at that time as which of these? The second one is saying how many participants in the conference did not change the Earth number during the conference. Third one, the Earth number of C at the end of the conference was which of these? D is saying, her fourth question is saying E at the beginning of the conference, what was the Earth number? The final question is saying how many participants had the same Earth number at the beginning of the conference? So these are the 5 questions in the set. So give yourself some time to try and solve this set. So what you can do is you can maybe hit the pause button and try and solve the set by yourselves. So how do you ideally approach such a set? First thing that you got to always keep in mind, that is your objective is to mark the right answers. Your objective is minimize your solving and yet mark the right answers. So what are the co-authorships happening? F is co-authored with A and C. Remember this, the least Earth number belongs to that of F. So that is the reason why everybody is co-authoring with F, so that they can reduce their Earth number. So A and C are co-authoring with F to reduce their Earth number. Again, E is co-authoring with F to reduce its Earth number. What does it mean? A, C and E are the 3 people who are co-authoring with the purpose of reducing the Earth number. For the rest of the people, that is B, D, F, G and H, the Eros number will remain unchanged. B, D, F, G and H, the Eros number will remain unchanged. Only for A, C and E, the Eros number will reduce because they are co-authoring with F. So the first thing you do in such a set is go back to the questions which are easy. For example, there was one question which said, how many participants did not change the Eros number during the conference? What will be the answer to this question? We already know that only A, C and E changed it, which means did not change would be B, D, F, G and H. Remember, these are the ones that are co-authoring. F will retain its Eros number, which already have the least Eros number. B, D, G and H is unchanged. So the answer is 5 participants out of 8 did not change their Eros number. So again, in every logic-based D I said, if you look at the last few years, the major thing has been that you've been getting at least 1 or 2 questions which have been solvable without putting in much effort. So at least try and make use of those. Is it clear to everybody how we got the first one? Did not change the Eros number in the conference. There are 5 of them: B, D, F, G and H. Next thing, interestingly, it says that the average Eros number of the group is 3. So after A and C are co-authoring and they are reducing the Eros number, the average of the group is reducing to 3. What does it mean? It means the sum total of A plus B plus C up to H is equal to 3 into 8, because there are 8 of them. That is, the sum total is equal to 24. Out of that, the least Eros number is that of F. So F will have the least Eros number. The rest of them, people like A, C and so on, will have the one more Eros number than F. Remember, nobody has an Eros number of 0 other than Paul Erdos. So F must be either 1 or 2 or 3 and so on. It cannot be 3 or more because the average of the group is 3. Since the average of the group is 3, the one having the least Eros number must be either 1 or 2. So F's Eros number must be either 1 or 2. But again, the problem is F cannot have an Eros number of 2. Why? Because if F is a number of 2, the others will have Eros number of 3 and greater than 3. In that case, the average can never come out to be 3, given that the person having the largest Eros number, if you look at the options here, all the options are quite high. Given that all the options are quite high, you cannot afford a situation where only F is going to have an Eros number of 2 and everybody else will have an Eros number of 3 or more. That will definitely not work out. So one thing is for sure, that the Eros number of F cannot be 2 either, which means F is going to be 1. Is it clear thus far how we got F as 1? So now that we're getting F as 1, that also means that the Eros number of A, C and so on, they'll be exactly 2. The Eros number of A, C and so on, whoever's co-authoring with F will end up being 2. Now, also it says that at the end of the 3rd day, 5 members of the group had the identical Eros number, while the other 3 had distinct Eros number from each other. What does it mean? 5 people had the same identical Erdős number, out of which 2 of them are A and C, who had an Erdős number of 2 each, which means there must be 3 more people having an Erdős number of 2 at the end of day 3. And who can those 3 people be? A and C and any 3 out of B. Any 3 are the remaining unchanged people, that is B, D, G and H. So out of B, D, G and H, any 3 of them plus A and C can have an Erdős number of 2 each. Who are the remaining people? The remaining people are then going to be one of B, D, G and H who's going to be remaining, and you have E remaining. So let's assume that B, D, G are the 3 people having 2's. So then H is remaining and E is remaining. What about E? What E has done is, E on the 5th day, E quarters with F and reduces the group's average by 0.5, which means instead of 24, the new average will be 20. So the total is reduced by 4, which is meaning that the reduction is because E's value has reduced by 4. So if E's value reduced by 4, it basically means E was initially 6 and finally E has reduced to 2, which is 4 less. So the value of E has reduced by 4 from 6 to 2. That is the only way it is possible that the group's average reduced by 0.5, that means the group's total reduced by 4. It's because of E's quartering with F, which means E's total has reduced from 6 to 2. Remember, if F is 1, on quartering with F you'll get to 2. So E initially was 6 and it reduced to 2. Also it says the total was 24. So you have 1 person getting a score of 1, you have 5 people getting a score of 2, that is a total of 10. You've got 1 person getting a score of 6, which means you've already got a total of 1 plus 10 plus 6, that is 17. So 7 people together have got a score of 17, which means the remaining person, H, must get a score of 24 minus 17, which is equal to 7. Hence the answer to the first question, that is the person having the largest Erdős number at the end of the conference must have had Erdős number as 7, because remember, any of B, D, G and H are having an unchanged Erdős number. The remaining unchanged only for A, C and E is changing. So if H started with 7, H will continue having an Erdős number of 7. The later reduction of 4 is only because E reduces from 6 to 2. Is this clear, everybody? Any questions? So you've got 2 answers done. Let's move on to the next question. The next one is saying Erdős number of 3 at the end of the conference. Again, there's something you could have done at the start itself. F was 1, so A and C were 2. So again, you could have simply looked at the options, marked the answer as option B, that is 2. So basically there was 2 questions which could have been answered at the start of the set itself. Also, the moment you get the value of C, you can mark the answer to the other question. E will have the same amount of number as C at the end of the conference, which means at the start it must have been 4 more, that is 2 plus 4, which is 6, which means the Erdős number of E at the beginning of the conference was option C, that is 6. So effectively, there were a couple of questions, 2 or 3 questions could have been solved without putting in much effort into this set. So with that, there's only one question remaining in the set. How many participants had the same or less number at the beginning of the conference? So at the beginning of the conference, A and C had different orders numbers. They didn't have 2, but out of B, D, G, and H, 3 of them had 2 as the same orders number. So out of B, D, G, and H, B, D, G, let's say, had the same orders number of 2. A and C had changed orders number on day 3, but B, D, G continue having the same orders number as 2. So the answer will be 3 of them had the same orders number at the beginning of the conference, that is B, D, and G, let's say, the same as number, which is 2 at the beginning of the conference. They retain that throughout the duration, the lengthened duration of the conference. So effectively what you've done is you've answered all the 5 questions in the set. What is more important is, even if you cannot solve the set, you should be marking the answers right to at least question 2, 3, and 4, which can be done without solving the entire puzzle. That is always more important, that you're getting at least a couple of questions right without putting in much effort in every DILR set, however difficult it may be. And remember, these are the kind of question options you've been seeing even in your CAT previous years set. So make the most of them in your actual exam day. So any questions, anybody? So the broad idea is something like this. F is 1, E reduces from 6 to 2, A started with infinity, so it reduced to 2, C reduced from C to 2, where we do not know the value of initial value of C, but that doesn't matter. The final value it reduced to is 2. Out of B, D, G, and H, 3 of them continue to have 2, one of them has 7 as the Erdos number. So that is why the highest Erdos number is 7, whereas the 3 of them continued to have 2 Erdos number. So this is the broad setup, and this is all they needed to do to answer all the 5 questions in the set. So talking of logic-based DI, I just wanted to inform all of you that batch 1 of the DI live classes has already started. So do make sure you're not missing on any further classes. You're enrolling by Sunday, that is tonight, midnight. All of you are enrolled to the Unacademy Plus subscription for more such discussions on DILR sets. What you can do is you can use the code Nilanjan.yt while subscribing to give yourself additional discounts on the Unacademy Plus CAT subscription. So basically you choose the 12-month subscription plan, which is the most recommended and the cheapest as well, and the most useful subscription plan. That will give you access not just to the DILR live classes, but also the Quants live classes which are being conducted for CAT 2020. Use the code Nilanjan.yt while subscribing. YT stands for the initials of YouTube. So use the code Nilanjan.yt while subscribing to give yourself the best possible discounts on Unacademy Plus. So how do you give yourself a discount? Choose the 12-month subscription plan after going to unacademy.com/plus. Go here, choose the CAT subscription, choose the 12-month subscription plan in the referral code section, enter the code, and then you click on apply, and you can apply successfully. You can either enter the code Nilanjan Datta with no space for Nilanjan on Datta, or you can enter the code nilanjan.yt. Either of them will give you the best possible discount on an Unacademy plus CAT subscription. So on that note, hope to connect with you all in the live classes. Do make sure if you subscribe by tonight, midnight, so that you do not miss out any further classes as part of any of the courses on Unacademy Plus. So hope this was a good learning experience for all of you. On that note, do keep sharing this video with all your friends and fellow aspirants. Thank you everybody, and happy learning.